Hey everybody, my script is pretty long, so I'm going to try and just power through it quickly. My name is Tori, and the big problem I want to focus on this semester is the lack of support or the lack of supportive environments for the LGBTQIA plus youth in schools. So this issue is really important to me because schools are supposed to be safe and safe spaces where students can learn, grow, and feel accepted. But for many kids in the LGBTQIA plus community, that's not the reality. And a lot of the time, students don't even feel safe enough to discuss things about themselves. So I want to help even the gap a little bit, or bridge the gap a little bit. So far, my research from the Trevor Project shows that the LGBTQIA plus youth face significantly higher risks of anxiety, depression, and even suicidal thoughts compared to their peers. So a lot of that doesn't come from who they are, but how they're treated, especially in their school environments. So their surrounding environments, but the school is a big one. So sometimes the students don't feel that they can express who they are because they have seen or heard the way others are mistreated. And that's a lot to carry for a kid. So imagine being a student who is afraid to speak in class or use the restroom or even come to school because they don't feel safe or accepted. And that kind of stress, it just affects mental health. But it doesn't just impact mental health, but it impacts academic success. And what really drives my passion for this issue is knowing that something as simple as support, inclusion, understanding from their teachers and their parents and their peers can change a student's experience. And every student deserves that, to feel seen and to feel valued and safe. So I can use the Bronfenbrenner's, I know I'm butchering that, sociological theory of human development to help with these issues. It can help explain how different systems influence an individual, right? So the microsystem includes the student's immediate environment. So this would be their teachers and their classmates and their families. If a student is surrounded by supportive teachers and accepting classmates, they're more likely to feel safe and succeed. But if they're experiencing things like bullying, discrimination, a lack of understanding, a lack of effort even, it can affect both their mental health and academic performance. The mesosystem is the connection between those immediate environments. So for this example, it would be the families and the schools. And if schools communicate effectively with those families and support, stronger systems, but if there's conflict or lack of awareness, the student's going to feel that. The exosystem includes larger systems that indirectly affect the student. So that's like district policies and teacher training programs. But if the schools don't have those proper training for the LGBTQIA plus inclusion, or they don't implement supportive policies, teachers may not have those tools to support their students effectively. And then we have the macro system, which includes societal beliefs and cultural norms, which I think is the biggest issue, right? Because the LGBTQIA plus students are subject to discrimination and a lack of representation, especially in this political climate. So they can be stigmatized for who they are, and if the society promotes exclusion and hate, that will often show up in the classroom as well. So finally, the chronosystem, which refers to change over time. And while there has been progress in these rights for these students and more awareness, many schools still fall behind in creating that fully inclusive environment. So the experiences of students today are shaped by both past and current efforts towards that inclusion. But overall, the issue shows that creating supportive environments for these kids isn't just the responsibility of one person. It involves teachers, families, policymakers, and society as a whole. So I truly believe that with better training and better placement for inclusive policies, commitment to open-mindedness, schools can become places where students feel safe and empowered to succeed. I am super interested in what y'all think, and if you have any feedback, I'm open to it, so let me know. What do you think that schools can do better. Thanks.